It is officially Richard Arlington Briggs Jr., aka on the ballot, R.A. Rick in quotation, Briggs Jr. I first came to Killeen in 1964 when I was about yay high, and then I returned in 2001 and decided to make Killeen my home with military service. And then my dream was to grow up and be a high school theater teacher. And I've taught in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Illinois. I got here to Texas and found out you all have this UIL one act play thingy that we didn't have in Iowa. But so I became a UIL judge and forensics adjudicator here in Texas as well.
Awesome. Well, tell me, I guess, why did you decide to seek election for the Killeen City Mayor?
Quite succinctly, I was prompted post the 12 December Jericho March in Washington, D.C., and then following the January 5th and 6th rally in D.C., I was there for both of those events in a personal security detail capacity with a high value target. And this, I'm not going to mention his name, this high value target and his family, this gentleman said, go back home, get involved at the grassroots level. It's imperative that we have soldier statesmen such as myself involved in city, local, school board, whatever, just do something. And so I came back and became a precinct chairman with the Bell County Republican Party initially. And then as I saw this comprehensive plan thingy, I said, Bubba got to step up his game because the people's voices are not being heard. The people's lives are not being served. And so I threw my hat in the ring and said, send me, Lord. Here we are.
And I know you talked a little bit about it just a little bit ago, but how is the campaigning going? I know we're kind of getting into the weeds of it right now, and it's probably you're probably really feeling the pressure. But how is it going? I guess tell me a little bit about your K9 campaign companion and how that's been going too, because I know that's a huge talker as well.
Ma'am, at grassroots, so I'm financing this out of my meager savings. And Bo's been cut back to half rations. No, not he eats well, trust me. But it's just him and I out there, you know, walking the streets of downtown Killeen and other places to let them put a face to this speckled dog and this kilted guy, as it's been reported in the Killeen Daily Herald, that kilted guy that shows up at events. And that's a matter of honor and family, representing honor and family. So it's a matter of me getting out there and doing it. And I don't have billboards or flashy signs, whatever. This sign you see behind me is a recycled poster from a previous gentleman who was running for governor a while back. And so I've recycled his signs. And purple's red, white, and blue mixed. Red, white, and blue mixed purple. It's also my fraternity colors. I'm a Lambda Chi Alpha. And some other, you know, organizations where purple's the color. So you know, red, white, and blue mixed purple. I've got the little cards and some stickers that I pass out because I don't want people to spend their money on me, my campaign, which is a money-making thing. I want people to save that money, put it in their gas tank, put the groceries on the table for their family, and then take about 10,000 of their closest registered voter friends to the polls and vote for Captain Rick for mayor. So it's that face-to-face, you know, getting out there and meeting people at different events.
When you are getting out and meeting people out there, what are you hearing, I guess, from constituents? What are you hearing from the voters? What are they, I guess, what are they telling you?
They're not happy with the current administration. And to which I say, I understand, I comprehend. And you see that in your electric bill. You see that in your water bill. You see that in where's the accountability when there's a break in the system and we lose thousands of gallons of water, but nobody's held accountable. So, you know, that school teacher part of me, that scoutmaster part of me, that army officer part of me goes, accountability. Let's revisit this thing and let's put some action behind this. And it's funny, me being a thespian, warrior thespian, captain, actor, that, you know, talking is one thing, actions is another. And that's the other thing that we see. We see a lot of this lip service stuff going on. but where's the action part? And I think that action part is actually getting out and walking amongst the people. I mean, going from a youth stock rodeo, stock show to whatever downtown. And I said this the other night, and several people did this. There's more to Killeen than 5 or 6 blocks north of 190. There's more to Killeen than 100 people making money on the north side of 190, if you're tracking with me. This city has 163,000 people in it, allegedly, population-wise. We speak 89 languages. Killeen ISD publishes in 4 foreign languages other than Spanish and English. What's that? Tagalog, Filipino, Vietnamese, Hangul, Korean, and Deutsch, ja, German. So if we have this already international mix, why hasn't anyone stepped up leadership-wise and developed that into something more? They're trying now, but they're behind the power curve. And I did brief all this in 2014 when I was just a grad student to the Killeen Economic Development Commission or whatever, and to the sitting standing whatever mayor and the city council in 2014. Captain Briggs, great ideas, blah, 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 blah. And it's like I had a thumb growing out of my forehead. They're like, whatever, he's just a grad student. Dude, I'm coming from Fayetteville, North Carolina, where I helped them as part of the behind the scenes guys to transform IPR. I speak in acronyms and mnemonics. IPR is image, perception, and reputation. That's one of the key things, I think, along with the long laundry list of other items. But to change Killeen, we've got to change the image, the perception, and the reputation. And we don't do that with these little thingies going on, breads and circuses, as we might say back in the Roman days, where you're placating the populace while you're doing something else over here. And that's one of my concerns. Well, how can you say that? Well, I've kind of worked on some stuff at the international level, the national level, the state level, behind the scenes, because I don't try to be flashy like that.
Mhm.
The
That leads into my next question. If elected mayor, what would, and I'm going to say 3 things, but what are some, I guess, 3 things that you would do first, or what are some of your 3 priorities if you were to be elected mayor of Killeen?
Let the people know that they have a voice. Let the people know that their constitutional rights. You have an advocate here for that. I've observed a couple of city council meetings where the people were shut down. And that bothers me because that goes back to the Constitution thingy, this First Amendment thingy some people might have heard of. I would try to fill the city council meetings with children. Why do you say that? Well, the Boy Scout leader says citizenship and community merit badge. Bringing those youngsters in to see how our city's supposed to work. Maybe some of those adults would like mind their P's and Q's if there's youngsters, involved. And the other thing that I picked up from a couple other different organizations, the traveling gavel, or each meeting, a different gavel from a different community organization so that they know that their voice is being represented in the city chamber and televised, whatever. But again, it's drawing in, the one thing I shared, we're here in Texas. I'm a native born in Iowa, but I've been here for a while. Texas Hold'em. Bet on Killeen. We're holding ACES, ACES, another acronym. Arts, culture, education, and services. If people knew just exactly what we had here going on, but there's a huge disconnect, they don't know. If they knew exactly what we had going on right now, they'd be blown away. There's so much to offer here in Killeen. That's why I say Texas Hold'em, we've got ACES, bet on Killeen. Just a little thing like that.
Yeah, I like that. Other than, I guess, a lot of talk, no action, is there an issue that kind of like sticks out to you in the city of Killeen that bugs you as a resident, as a taxpayer? I know there's been a lot of controversy things, but is there really one thing that kind of sticks out to you that kind of motivates you to seek office?
If I had my hat, you've got CAPTRICK, C, common sense, A, American, P, patriot, T, that's thrifty, where's the money and how's it being spent, R, real as an authentic, I, integrous, C, constitutionalist, K, Hilton, part of the branding. But the I in Rick goes back to that integrous thing, which kind of goes back with the trustworthy thing, which goes back to the hypocrite thing. Hypocrisy. That's probably my biggest thing. When you're not true to your word, when you violate your oath for your own self-serving needs at the expense of the people you're supposed to be representing as an elected public servant. You're not an official, you're an elected public servant. It's the good people that put you there that should, and you should be working. And so when you go back on your oath, I kind of got an issue with people with a lack of integrity. I have an overdeveloped sense of integrity, I've been told. Big Irish mouth and speaks truth and upset some people because, hey, it's either, you know, and if you start that quibbling thing, we don't quibble. Just give me the facts, tangible, physical evidence. What do you got? And let's roll forward. And I've seen too many people marginalized, if not completely ignored, because they ask a simple question. And again, it comes back to that audit trail, that accountability thing. So my biggest thing that I would have sticking in my craw would be that hypocrisy of certain people that allegedly have sworn a sacred oath to, like, for instance, to protect the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. You know, on my honor, I will do my best. Scout thing. I mean, you know, I pledge allegiance. Some of these things we learned from kindergarten up, but somehow, once you get older, some people have forgotten where their feet have planted.
Last question for you, I think. For those that haven't gotten a chance to meet you yet, what is one thing you would like them to take away from this interview, or just one fun fact about you that they should know when they head over to the ballot box?
Well, I do have a meet the candidate thing coming up. If I can do a quick plug for the Phantom Warrior Brewing Company on, oh, what's the street? It's like off of Jasper, next to the Texas Workforce Commission, across the interstate from Killeen Daily Herald headquarters there. But that's Thursday night from 17:30, 5:30 p.m. to 2000, 8 p.m. So Thursday, Phantom Warrior Brewing Company, come meet Captain Rick and Bo. Bo will be there, of course. But one fun fact thing is what you see is what you get. I don't put on airs. I'm you know, the same guy that you know, collects his neighbor's trash bin off the curb because it's a always got thing, do a good deed. But it's that authenticity, and that's one thing that I'm kind of known for in certain circles is my candor, where I will speak. And there's a few stories behind that, but that's for a later day. But it's published, all right. And I lead with my heart. You know, it's all about heart. We've got to get away from the fear-based mindsets. And I want to be known as the wartime mayor of Killeen. What's that mean? We strip away apathy and ignorance. Apathy and ignorance. We strip those away and we move forward together as a team. I can't do everything by myself. I need team, and we've got so many talented people in Killeen. It's amazing because we got people from all over the galaxy. Come on, you know, it's just a matter of tapping them in and letting them know it's safe. Your voice matters. Your family, they matter. And if I'm gonna stick here since 2001, because I wanted to, because I believed in something, I saw something, so that's why I